Alright, so I took off the GX crank. I actually had a oval chain ring on here. So anyway, to took off the GX crank, and I'm putting on a race face. The reason why I got this is because this is a 165, whereas the GX is a 170. So as you can see down here, I'm getting all these pedal strikes, right? All those pedal strikes. So 5 millimeters. It's not that much of a difference, but hopefully it reduces the pedal strike. I don't think it's gonna eliminate it. I'm still gonna get it, but hopefully it's not as much. So anyways, got my oval chain ring on. So since I'm doing that, and since I got a ShRamano XT cassette back here, I'm still running ShRam GX derailleur and cassette. I might as well use the full XT HG, what do they call it, HG Plus or something like that. So I got that ShRamano chain as well. The interesting thing that it doesn't say HG Plus here. That's kind of odd. But this is a 12-speed, right? XT chain. I actually need to cut this thing down. I think it's too long. I'm not sure what the original length is on the ShRam chain. So this should work better with the ShRamano cassette. And I gotta, obviously need a chain tool. I shouldn't have sold my chain tool. I used to have a roll-off chain tool, and I sold it. And I'm like, because when I sold it, I wasn't riding anymore. And I just recently decided to ride it again this year. Which again, I shouldn't have sold. When you have tools, but don't sell your tools. So this is a Park Tool CT 3.3. So yeah, when you have tools, man, don't sell your tools. That was a mistake right there. And the roll off is really expensive too. I sold it for dirt cheap too, almost free. Which I should have done that. Oh, this thing is not coming out. Yeah, the roll off. If you look at the roll off chain tool right now, I mean, no one has it in stock, not even roll off. But if you look at it, brand new right now today, if you buy it today, that thing is like $200, so over $200, like two plus $100. So it's a really nice tool. Definitely, it's definitely nicer than this. This is okay looking, but the roll off is definitely better. So I need a chain split tool. So this is the Park MLP 1.2. So this, I try to split the chain with my bare hands, but I couldn't do it. Yeah, in the past I was able to split chains with my bare hands, but I guess the newer chains now is they just make it harder. Just make it harder now. Can't split it too well anymore with your bare hands. So again, the chain splitting tool, split and connect. I also got a wheel manufacturing bottom bracket. So these cranks here, they're using the 24 millimeter spindle versus the 30 millimeter spindle. I mean, I could have gotten a 30 millimeter spindle one, but I'm not sure why I got this one. I think I got this because I already got I have another set of these cranks, but in a 170 when I had my ITSO. So that's why. And I think I wanted a, and this looks like a steel spindle too. It's not an aluminum spindle. But this one here, this is an aluminum spindle, so it's lighter. So yeah, so I got the 24 millimeter spindle instead. So got the 24 millimeter bottom bracket as well. All the different spacers in here, and a BT 79.3. This is to remove the the ShRam dub bottom bracket, and I need my ShRamano bottom bracket for this one, because apparently this is a different this is a different. I didn't know this, and that's what I just got this. This tool just got delivered like an hour ago. So this is different from this is one for ShRamano. I mean ShRam. This one's for ShRam, not Shimano. So it doesn't fit. This is just bigger. The Shimano one's actually a little smaller. So anyway, so now I have. Oh, this is nice. This is aluminum. It's not even steel. It's nice. It doesn't need to be steel, anyways. Oh, one thing they could have done with this is this edge along here inside. They could have chamfered this edge just a little bit, because now it's a sharp 90-degree edge, so it could cut or scratch things. Example, here on the bottom bracket. I took it out already, or I took out the crank, obviously. But here, it's a little bit of sharpness to it. So anyways, yeah. Let me get all my tools together and set it up and go to a different cup. Okay. So let's get this bottom bracket out first. Let's see, so I got the tool, I need my wrench. Where's my wrench at? So I'm using a somewhat longer wrench here than what I normally use. Let me try my regular wrench. Let me try my regular wrench. Let's see if this one is long enough, gives me enough leverage or not. Let's see, I always forget which direction to spin the bottom bracket. Let me look at the new bottom bracket. I always forget which direction. I know both of them go in the same way. You need to spin it towards the front or towards the back to lock and unlock. Let's see. So here's the new one. There should be a right side and a left side. This should be the right side. Right side. Yeah, so right side tightening is spinning towards the back. So basically spinning towards the back is tightening, spinning towards the front is loosening. Okay, spinning towards the back. Tightening, spinning towards the front is loosening. So I want to spin it towards the front because I want to loosen it. Ah, man, that's tight. Okay, probably not enough leverage. Let me use my longer wrench. There we go. Oh, that's tight. So this side has no spacer on the cups, on the bottom bracket cups. You see no spacer there. Whereas this side, there's a little spacer on this side. This spacer that's pretty thick. That looks like it's man, that's thick. That looks like it's 5 millimeters maybe. Let's pop that spacer off. I have all this grease left here. Okay, I'm get my fingers are greasy. There we go. So it pops right off. There's a little groove in here that actually fits right in there. So that it pops off so that way we could clear to make space for the tool. So spin it towards the front, right? The important thing the reason why I have my hand is that I want to make sure that the tool stays in there and it doesn't, because this thing is very thin, it doesn't pop out. So that's the main concern that you have. And that's such a thin interface. So that pop out. Let me pop that spacer back in. So that way I don't lose the spacer and I know which side it is. So, well, I should know. You should know which side it is, but you know. And even the cup here says left and right as well. Oh, there's actually dirt in here. I wonder how dirt got in here. See all that dirt? I wonder how dust got in there. Is there a hole somewhere that lets dust in? I don't see any holes. Well, maybe, you know, where all the cable, you know how the cable is routed in the frame, so that's probably where dust gets in. My rag. My rag. Let's see, do I need to wipe this inside here real quick? Let's see, it was spinning towards the front, right? So towards the front to clean it out, or take it off, I should say. So wipe off as much of this garbage as I can. I know some of it's old. Some of it's old grease, but some of it's dirt as well. Oh, you know what? The bottom of the bottom bracket has a hole. There's a hole down here, so that's for water drainage. So that's probably how the dirt got in there. I can see the grease in there. A little crusty looking. Thing is, this bike's only 2 months old. The grease is already getting a little crusty, so that's interesting. I guess because it gets maybe a little wet when I clean the chain and when I wash the chain. Because I wash the chain with Simple Green. Spray with Simple Green. Let it sit for a few minutes. Then I scrub it with a toothbrush. You know, the chain and the drive. Then I rinse it off and I repeat that again second time. If it's really bad, I repeat it a third time, but usually the second time is good enough. Each time you rinse it off with water, you can actually see the water that comes down. It's all brown. Usually after the second time, it's not. The first time it's obviously very brown. The second time it's a little brown. If you do it a third time, it's usually not brown anymore. It's usually clean enough. Okay, that's cleaned up. Now I just need to get my grease. I have some. I'm just using my synthetic grease for, you know, this is automotive grease, and it works. You know, it works fine. No big deal. Grease is grease, but you know, depending on the application. The thing with bicycles is that, you know, bicycles, especially the bearings, they're not spinning at a high speed, so you actually don't need so the grease that you use for, like, for example, this automotive grease I'm using, it's intended for you know, high speed, you know, high speed, hotter. When you have higher speed, you have hotter operating conditions. So in that case, you know, the temperature increases, right? So you need grease that could withstand that temperature, the higher temperatures, for automotive use. But in you know, bicycles, you never, you know, bicycles don't operate that high speed, so you don't have to worry about it. So a little bit of grease on my threads, not a whole lot. You don't actually need a whole lot, just enough so that way it doesn't, you know, when you take it off in the future, it doesn't seize up and bind up. So let's see what spacing I need here. I know I'm gonna need some kind of spacing, but this thing doesn't actually tell you. Doesn't tell you on here what spacers are needed on the bottom bracket. Shim spacers, and what is this one? This one is mountain spacers and shim spacers pack. So 2 different packs on this wheel hub, and there's no instructions on here at all. This is a business card, looks like. There you go to the website, installation, service, and warranty information. There you go. So I should go there and look at see what shim stacks I need. But I don't think I need anything because the original ones doesn't have it. I think mainly what these are for is to put the it's for the bearing side, not the thread side, I believe. I don't think none of these would fit. I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, that's way too thick to be. Yeah, okay. These shims are here. I see what these shims are. So this mountain bike spacer shims. These ones. So you see the thickness 0.7, 1.8, 2.5. That's in millimeters. That's the spacer for depending on how wide your bottom bracket width is. The shell, the bottom bracket shell. So I think this one is a 73 millimeters. That's pretty standard. 73 for mountain bike. Usually for road bike it's a 68. For threaded bottom bracket shell. So that's the spacer for that. And this one is this one right here is a shim spacer. This one is the dust cover for the bearing side. Okay, so now I know what that is. All right, let's see what side's which. So this side's the right side. So let's put the right side on. I should put a little grease on the threads on the male side as well, not just the female side. God damn it. Use my fingers. Just blowing the dust off of the threads. I want the threads to be clean. I mean, it's clean, it's new, but I should think most of that dust was from like paper dust. It's from the packaging. So not much grease on this side as you go, and you see a little bit of grease, and that's enough, because when you spin this thing, the grease will spread. One side to the other side as well. Some people, they kind of go overboard with the grease. You don't need that grease. Even when people that do bearings, ball bearings, they way over grease it too as well. When you over grease bearings, that's actually a bad thing. You actually cause problems when you over grease bearings. So right side spinning towards the rear. This is already in. Look at this spacing. Actually, let's look at this before I put this in. Look at this right here. And this thing, let's say if you go, depending on the width of the bottom bracket shell, you could go close to narrower, and this left side slides in, but the right side doesn't. It stays fixed. Oops. So anyway, so that's that. And the purpose of the shell is for the spindle. It helps with the spindle, but the reality is the real contact point for the spindle is actually at the bearing. But they have that to help protect the. Oh, that doesn't feel smooth. Feels a little rough there. Felt like. Oh shit! Now there's dirt in this bottom bracket shell here. It felt kind of. So let's spin it forward to let the threads seat in. Man, that feels gritty. You guys hear that? Man, that's really gritty, huh? Holy cow, that's really gritty. I don't like that. I'm looking at my threads, making sure my threads are not screwed up. That looks okay here. This side too as well. Let's see. We need to wipe the edge of the thread here. I just added grease, so that's not gonna help. Maybe just a very couple first threads. If there's any type of grit in there. I mean, there could be. I mean, I just took off the old bottom bracket. So, I mean, I didn't wash anything. I just wiped it down, but I should have. I didn't really see much dirt in it, so that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of like, huh? How come it's I mean, it's all gritty. And that grittiness could be, okay, I kind of feel it. I feel it as I'm wiping this rag on the, as I'm wiping the rag on the shell here. I can actually feel the threads on the bottom bracket right here. It's kind of the first thread or two. It's not perfectly smooth, so that, I think that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the grit from that. Okay, let's try that again. So I was fine thread. I will spin it backwards to let the thread seat. Hear that? Once it seats, then you can spin it in. Oh, there you go. Oh, that was much smoother. Whoa, that was way smoother. Oh, now it's gritty again. It's kind of funny. So this is the ShRamano one. So I have a ShRamano spline tool here. I'm just gonna do this by hand right now. Actually, I shouldn't tighten it. I think the Newton meter on this, does it say it on here? Oh, this one doesn't. Oh yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't say it on here. I'm not sure what the Newton meter is, but I don't think it's that high. So I'm gonna use my my shorter wrench to tighten it versus the longer one. I don't want to put too much leverage onto it because that's not a good thing. Okay, that's tight enough. All right, so same thing with the other side. Let me feel these threads. So I know these are virgin threads here, so they should not be, shouldn't have any problems. Let me run my thumb across. Yep, I can feel the roughness right along this edge right here. So from here to here, the other side is smooth, but this edge here is roughness. So that's what gonna give it that little gritty feel. So let me just wipe that very edge, the first thread or two, really quick. Can I do that with the same thing on the other side? Then I could tighten this up. Again. Again, I had I had wiped it earlier, but also greased it. So I basically just wiped off some of the old grease. That's what I just did. All right, so spin it towards the rear, right? Spin it towards the rear. But before you do that, you should spin it backwards. Reverse spin, so that way it seats, so it's not misthreaded. There it goes. Does it hear that? A little clicking sound? That's when I know that it's seated, so it spins in smoothly. Nice. Very smooth spin. No grittiness at all. So on this side, maybe that initial grittiness it might not have been seated. Yeah. Again, spin it towards the rear. Rotate towards the rear. Okay, that's good. All right. Now let's stick the crank in. So let's see, where's my crank? So here's my crank. So there's some spacers here. So I'm not sure you see the spacers here. I'm not sure which side's which. So let me look at the instructions and see which side I need to, if this spacer needs to be on this side or the other side or what. Let's see if this spacers even move. Man, that's a tight fit. Okay, maybe these spacers don't move. I think they do. Man, that's a really tight fit. Oh. Yeah, you see, they moved a little bit. So, anyways, we'll see that in the next clip. So I don't think you need to remove these spaces at all. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. Actually, let me try to just stick it in real quick and see how it fits. It says, oops. It says leave the cap on. This little cap that's covered as the spline drive, but it didn't really come on very smoothly. Maybe I just had it crooked. Okay, I see. It's the interface of the bearing right here. That's what's tight fit. So let's just forget about this little cap here. Leave that off. Make it easy on myself. So let's grease up this area right here. So you mainly grease it so that way it's easier to install and remove. And it's, it's a very light amount of grease. A light film of grease there. Shouldn't be much at all. Same thing with this other side over here. Seems like this thing, you see how it has this stuff, and I'm not sure if that's grease or what, but it feels, it might be grease. It's just, maybe it's dried out, because it's not bare metal. It has that film on there. So, but it felt kind of sticky, kind of tacky. Not like wet grease. Wet grease has a certain tackiness to it, but it's different though. It feels different. Well, this one, the grease felt kind of like almost like an adhesive. So I'm gonna put a little grease where the ball bearing interface is as well. Grease right there. I'm not gonna grease this surface. It doesn't need it. Some people do that, but I think that just invites more dirt to get in here. So that's why it's not a good idea to have a whole bunch of grease, because too much grease. One of the downsides is that it invites in dirt and contamination. It lets the dirt and stuff build up in there. So that's one negative when you over grease. All right, so let's stick this in now. Actually, let me just eyeball this right here. Yeah, it looks like it fits just right. All right, so let's stick this in. So right now the spot that's tight fit is the bearing surface. Okay, so that's in. I should get a mallet. Oh, I forgot to do. I forgot to put the dang it. You can see the bearing coming through, the bearing surface coming through, so it's okay. I forgot to put the spacer washer for the oh, dang it. Oh, there we go. The spacer washer for the face of the bearing. Let's see. So that's this one right here, shim spacer. Let's see which one I need. Not sure which one I need. There's a whole bunch of them. So there's two shiny plastic ones. There's a metal one with a seal, so that's the one that goes in there. So another metal one with a seal, and two more shiny ones. Okay, these two are thicker and these two are thinner. Okay, so I see what that is. So basically, these ones goes into the bearing face first, like so. I think there's nothing, unless it's supposed to be, unless it's the shiny one that's in there first, which I don't think it is. No, that doesn't make sense, because this side over here, where the metal is, there's a little step right there. I think that little step kind of fits in somehow. So things like that, and this goes over like this. I think that's how it works. So let me feel this a little bit more. Oops, dang it. Let me feel this that side. Let me feel. Well, actually, let me just look at it this way. I mean, I suppose that could work too, but let's see. I don't think it is though. Yeah, I don't think that's no. I don't think no. That's not right. No, that's not right. The seal, there's too much of a gap here for the seal. It's gonna invite dirt in. So the seal goes like so. Again, I think this goes over like so, like that. So that means this side is supposed to be on the other side. So let me stick this on first. So these are the dust seals. The seal wiped up my grease right here. Wiped off all the grease here. Let's get some grease back on. Again, it doesn't, it doesn't need much. Just thin film should be enough. It mainly helps with letting the spindle side on and off. Let's leave this side off. All right. Okay. Slide this in. I wonder if I need those little shim stack. I don't think I do, but oh, those little shim stacks. These ones are this because this thing is not like the spindle is not like the ShRam dub where there's a bearing what do they call it, preload for the bearings. So this one doesn't have that, so that's why you need these little shim stacks. So I'm not sure if I need it or not. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure if I need those shim stacks or not. I don't think I do, but who knows. So that's in there. That's in. And there's this right here. This is for the crank itself, I think. Yeah, this is for the crank itself. On the drive side, this big back spacer right here will go inside right here. So that's what takes up this. There's a void in here, so that's what takes it up. So I'm not going to use any of these shims for right now. I want to see how it fits. I believe I'm supposed to use one of these spacers here. Now I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to use now. Let's see. Because once this goes in, that's in already. That side. I should take off my chain. Let me take off my chain real fast. So where's the link? Where's the master link? There it is. And there's the master link right here. Split those. Master link, and make those a little bit closer. Okay, so I need to, let's see, to split it, you need to compress it. Like so, there you go. So that was so easy. The tool made it so easy. I tried to do this by hand without the tool. Man, I could not get it. I tried to put in like little needle nose pliers right here too. That didn't work either. So there we go. Split the master link. Take this off. Oops. And I think I might have to resize my the new chain too, because the original cassette, it was a 52. This one's 51, so it should be okay. The same length should be okay. But okay, let me spread this apart. So let's see. So earlier I squeezed it together to get it open. Now I need to squeeze it apart. Is that right? So go on the outside. and spread it apart. There it goes. Spread it apart. Now it's clicked in place. Now it's connected. Okay, so set that aside. Okay, now it's out of my way. This on the other hand. So I have this spacer, so the crank comes with this and the 2 rings here. That's where the pedal goes. Right here where the pedal goes, so it doesn't cut it or dig into the aluminum. So this right here, I believe, goes, is it this way? Yeah, things like that. So there's a little step right in here. See a little step, whereas this side is flush. So this side is flush. This side has a little step, a little lip. I believe the lip goes on the inside, towards the bottom bracket, because it looks like it fits into the little bushing right there. I wonder if that's those spacers, those little shims cover that up. Let's see. Let me look at this real quick. Nope. This also has that same bigness. Okay, so actually let's look at from this angle. Nope, that doesn't make sense because there's no step or there's no groove for the step on if I put the step towards the crank. So that means the step goes towards the bottom bracket side, like so. And the crank goes in like so. Make sure the crank is the 2 cranks are 180 from each other. You'd be surprised at how people will get that wrong. So there's already grease in here and there's already grease right here, so I'm not worried about it. That's from the factory. So let's see, yeah, so it's 180. So that's good. So I need an 8mm right here. I think it is 8mm. So get my little 8mm here. My little socket wrench. It should be clockwise. Yeah, it's clockwise. So yeah, most of my pedals are 180 from each other. So everything's going in. Okay, so now I can start feeling resistance. So that feels good. So hopefully there's no side to side play. That's what these shims are for. If there was any side to side play, I would shim it with these shims. This is what, 50, I think it's 54 Newton meters, I believe, or 50 Newton meters. No, that's not right. I think this one is yeah, 54 Newton meters here. So 54 Newton meters, I think it's about, I think that's about 45 foot-pounds or so. So it's not that you know, that heavy, but let's see if what I'm doing here is right. I should get my torque wrench. Let me go get my torque wrench just to make sure. Okay, so I have my snap-on torque wrench, 54 Newton meters. What's my socket here? My socket. So right now it's only at 34. It's not even close. 35. Because I can still feel I can actually still feel the bottom bracket, or not the bottom bracket, but the crank arm still moving in as I'm turning it. So it's still coming in. Oh, it looks like it's more inboard than the original. Yeah, it is more inboard. Okay, so I do need a spacer. Okay, so I do need a spacer here. It's a little bit too inboard now. As far as I can tell, it's too inboard. My chain ring is actually gonna touch the it's gonna touch the frame. Wow, look at how close that is. That's like within a millimeter, maybe even less, from touching the frame right here on the teeth. So that's too close. That's too close. Too close. Let's take that out. Let's hope I can do this with this short wrench. Yep. So these new cranks now, they have this self-extracting. You use the same bolt spot to self-extract it. So that's pretty cool. It has this cap. The older crank designs, they didn't have that. You have to have a crank puller, which totally sucks. Using a crank puller sucks. Okay. Okay, so that didn't fit because the spacing was too much. That was way too much, and it was still bottom. It hasn't bottomed out yet. So that tells me, actually, I can see the marring. You see the marring on the spline. So that means it's still going in. So it probably needs a thick one, a thick spacer, a thick shim, I should say. One of these thicker shims. So there's 2 thick shims and 2 thin shims. It's probably one of the thick ones, maybe. What does the manual say? Look at this little manual here. It tells you for the bottom bracket, blah blah blah. Oh, it doesn't say nothing about the washers. Oh, it tells you that the rider. I mean, not the rider. That little spacer here with the lip. I mentioned earlier. Right, this little spacer here. Anyways, tells you about that. Doesn't say anything about the spacer for here. So give me a minute to figure this out. Start that on the next clip. Okay, I realized I just screwed up. I missed a step. I forgot about the spacers. So this is supposed to be the spacer before you put the cup on. Totally forgot about that. God damn it! That's why the spacing didn't that's why the shims. It was like when I was put on, like that didn't seem right. I just realized that. I was looking at my chain and I'm like, wait a minute, something doesn't look right. Okay, so now I have to freaking take this thing apart again. So that's the thing. I haven't worked on bikes in so long that I kind of forget. That's why the spacing is kind of off too, right? Actually, maybe that shouldn't really matter. Because, man, that didn't look right. So yeah, so I'm glad I caught that before. So I'm messing with the chain. I'm like, something didn't look quite right. So take these 2 off. I need to take the spindle off. Spindle's off. Now I need to get this thing off. So this was spinning it forwards. Oops, wrong tool there. Jeez. Jeez, what the hell? Damn swivel head is causing me to not to. Swivel head's not letting me. Jeez, I'm pushing this button right here, but still not releasing. Damn swivel head. Okay, a little technical difficulty there for a second. Stupid swivel head. Let's take this off. Jeez, what the hell? I didn't tighten it that tight, did I? Can't remember if I used the. Jeez. Thing is moving. Yeah, bike's moving. Let me straddle the tube. So that the bike doesn't move. There we go. Jeez, I could have swore I tightened this with the smaller wrench. Not the big one. The big one's used for loosening, not for tightening. So that's where I screwed up. I'm supposed to use the spacer on here. Jeez, got dust on there already. So this spacer comes with three sizes. I think I'm supposed to use the thickest one on this one because judging by the spacers, by these spacers I used, I think these two thick spacers for the spindle is about the same as this thick spacer for the bottom bracket. So that's about how much I need. Yep, it's about the same size. So I'm gonna use these two. I mean the thick one. The thick one right here like that. Something like so. Stick it back in there. Ideally, you're supposed to stick this side in first before the other side, but I don't want to loosen up the other side. So let's see. Let's spin it backwards to let it seat. I think it's just seated right there. Let me go one more time. Okay, seated. Nope, not seated. And now seated with two seats. Okay, now I think it's right. And use a smaller wrench to tighten this. Otherwise it'll be over tightened. Okay, let's get there. Let's put my spindle back in on this side. And that's in. Alright, so I shouldn't need any spacers on this side at all now. Well, the keyword being shouldn't. Okay, let's see. So I got my little crank spacer right here with the little lip. Make sure it's 180 from each other. It's 180, I think. Okay, this one spins in good. Okay, that's good. Use my short wrench for tightening this down until I get to the tightening point. Okay, so back to the 54 newton meters. There you go, 54. There we go. So we're good. Let's see the spacing here. Okay, sweet. Spacing is perfect. Okay, that's good. That looks good. Okay, now it's actually close to the center here too. The chain ring is actually centered, just about centered with the spacing. Well, it's actually slightly inboard, just inboard of center. So that's fine. That matches up with the 6 tooth back here, so that's good. All right, so now I need to figure out the chain. So I'll do that off camera, and we'll figure it out off camera. All right, so there's the chain. The instructions doesn't actually tell you how to figure out the chain length. I think that's probably in the derailleur maybe. There's the master link right there, and there's the chain itself. So this one is a 126, so it's probably gonna be too long. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure out how much to cut off. I should just size it up with the previous chain. That would be the easiest thing to do, because you know everything's still the same, right? The only difference between this cassette and the original cassette is the original cassette was a 52, this one's a 51, so it's only one teeth, so it shouldn't be that much different. But it was kind of sagging when I had it to the smallest gear in the back, the smaller teeth in the back. It was the chain was actually sagging, so I didn't like that. And it seemed like when I put it to the biggest teeth here, it seemed like there was still space. You know, it was still enough space for the derailleur to extend some more. So so in that sense, I think I'm gonna maybe cut one length shorter from the previous chain. This thing's already oily. I can feel the oil on here. This is the Shimano XT chain, not XTR. So there's a difference, right? So let's see. I should go from the back since my tire is being blocked. It's being blocked, so it's oops. My tire is being blocked, so it doesn't spin. My back wheel is not spinning. So I feed it from the front. Front to back. So this chain ring is meant. This one is meant for Shimano. So there's a thin and thick. So thin is for the inside plate, and thick is for the outside. Otherwise, it won't fit. It won't fit on. Right. So like so. So I know how small. Let me go to the large to large. Actually, since the chain is off, let me look at the chain alignment. I mean, not the chain alignment, but the red alignment real quick. I've been having, oops, this thing is still off. Whatchamacallit? So I've been having problems with hearing the chain clicking. Oh yeah, I can see the offset's not right. Let's see. Seems like it's a little bit off. My top freewheel on the derailleur, it's, as far as the alignment, with the alignment of the teeth here, it's like kind of like this a little bit, just slightly, but like maybe 2 millimeters. You know, possibly maybe even 3 millimeters. But anyways, let's forget that for now. Let's just work on Getting the chain on, getting the chain length, I should say. Chain length first, then I go back to the derailleur adjustment. Man, I thought I was going to be finished with this already because I was goofing around with the bottom bracket. Fitting the bottom bracket and the crank on, and that made the let's see. I should position this where I have my most, where I'm pulling the chain the most, because right now I don't think it is. Let me change this angle in here to like something like that. I think that's better. Something like that. All right, let's see. So here I have basically one link, just about one link overlap. If I change this to right here, let's see how much overlap there is. I can judge by the dang it. Judge by the oh man, come on, it's not, dang it, it's not coming in. Jeez, that didn't fit in very well. I wasn't able to get where I wanted. Oh, same thing. That was the same. Anyways, let's go back to this one. Right here. Is it overlap? No, not quite. Yeah, looks about the same. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it's about, seems to be about the same. Let's see. So here. Jeez. Jeez, my bike is all crooked. Okay, that's better. Let's see, so this here needs to be up a little bit, like so. Something like that. So it's gonna be too small. This will be right here then. I think that's it right there. It's that one. No, not this one. Let me compare this to the old chain. So this, how many big links? Oops, how many big links do you have? There's 1, 2, 3. 3 big links. Three big links. Old chain. I don't want to put this on the ground because it's going to be dirty. Let me put it on the the concrete floor. All right, so I was right. Kind of three big links to needs to be removed. Is that right? Actually, 4 big links, not 3. I have 1, 2, 3. I also need to take this one off because this 4th big link right here would be the master link. So I mean, I need to remove 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So I need to cut right here. Cut my chain right here. Actually, before I even do that, let's look at the chain real fast. The difference between the Eagle chain and the ShRam chain, the Shimano chain. So if you look really carefully, you see like right here at this bottom left corner right here of the big link right here, where my fingernail is, you see that how it's kind of like beveled down, it's angled. So the Shimano has that as well, but the Shimano, that angle down wraps around more angle from basically from right here, basically past the pin, past halfway point of the pin, and it wraps all the way to right here. With the ShRam one, it's not quite at the halfway point yet of the pin, and it stops. And the bottom here too, it also stops sooner too, versus the Shimano. So maybe that's the thing that makes the Shimano one shift a little smoother. Maybe, I'm not sure, but everyone says Shimano shifts smoother, and as far as like these new drives. So I need to take out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's right there. So this is a 126 chain. They also have a 116 chain. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I might have to take it off, maybe even 5. But let me take off 4 for now to be safe. So 4 would be the same as the original one. I might have to take out 5, which is over here, but I take this one out first. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. I've actually never used this chain ring breaker, so let's see how we use this thing. Let me bring this out. I have my little pin driver tool right here. Oh god, you can't even take that off. You need a wrench or something to take that out. Right there. So anyways, so let's spin this all the way out. Like so. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 links. So this little metal moving, sliding metal right there is what goes in between the links, or between the plates, the outer and the inner plate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that thing slides, so that's kind of cool. So that way you don't have to mess around with like different size chains. You have a 12 speed, 10 speed, whatever speed. It will work. It will all work on them. Make sure this is nice and centered. Looks pretty centered, but for some reason it doesn't look like it's quite centered. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's quite centered right here from this angle. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, that pops out. We hear that pop because the pin is, it's like a rivet, where the very end where my fingernail is, it's actually wider than the inside of the pin. So the thing that popped was that on the side that was squeezing past this direction, this side over here, that's what broke. So basically that pin is now useless. So there we go. There's our four links, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 big links. So this should be the same as this, the old one. Let's see if we could angle this so that we can see it on the chain, the full chain. All right, that's so that would be the big link over there. Yep, so it's the same size, same length, so just missing the big link connecting this two, which is the master link. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. Let's go back to the bike. Let me shift the thing back to the smallest teeth, so that way it doesn't makes it easier for me to change this or pull this through. Master link, my knife. Master link has an arrow, so if you're looking at it, it should be pointing in the direction that the chain spins, so it's like that. So this is the face side, and the inside is going to be the other way. So the face side is on this end here, other side is on the other end. So now I'm gonna click it in right now. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'll take this up. Oops. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't know this freewheel here, this cog here, also has an inner and outer thickener as well. That helps hold the chain. It's kind of cool. All right, so now we're on the smallest one. I haven't clicked in the master link yet, right? What's the master link? Where are you at? There you are. So I haven't clicked this in yet. So if I click it in, it will actually stretch out even more. And here, see how loose that is? See how floppy that is? I don't like that. Oops, let's bring this. Alright, so now we pedal this thing. Still haven't clicked this thing yet. Let me click it in place. Actually, I'll leave it right here. Let me upshift to the biggest chain ring. Change too many. Trying to change too many gears right there at the same time. Okay, so now we're at the biggest chain ring. Let's see how much space we have here, how much slack we have here. Cricket again. Oops. Let's bring this out a little bit. You see the bend here, and there's still space. See that? See all that slack? So this is the biggest chain ring here. I have my angle here at the most 2, I think. Oops, just past my point there. So yeah, so there's a lot of slack here. I think I could take off one more link. Let's see, so right now there's one link here. If I take out one more link, let's bend this. See if we're taking out one more link, it'll be like alright, no, something like this. Oops. Yep. Ah, dang it. Shoot, I gotta go back to the small chain ring again, damn it. But anyways, I think I take off one more link and I'll be okay. I'll still be okay. Master. That ShRam has that little lockout thing. I don't think the ShRamano one has that. The thing is, yeah, these new style derailleurs, they have a clutch on them, and it makes it that much harder to. Let me lock this up and I'll do one more time. Oops. This one more time. Okay. So I have enough here for shortening it up by one link. Let's see. 12.5, that's basically shortening it up by one link right there. I still have space to spare, I think. I'm just gonna shorten it up by 1 link. Dang it, this clutch is killing me here. I'm right there, everybody. I'm right there at the maximum extension. But anyways, there's still enough of a bend here. Well, I could go a little bit further. I can remove 1 more link. And that way I don't have that stupid sagging spot on my on the chain. Dang it, stupid thing right here. There we go. Yeah. See how loose this is? I don't like that. It's wrong direction. Right, 1 more link. Here. Okay, I think that's good. That's good right there. Link's broken up. Stick my new chain on here. Oops. So I think this is good right here, like this. So there you go. That's much better. There's no floppiness. That's much better. There we go. Let's go to the biggest gear. There's my biggest gear, and I still have how much space left? I still have a good amount. That's still a good amount. Alright, still a good amount right there, especially when it goes through the suspension travel. When it goes to suspension travel, it will actually, as it goes through, because right now the suspension is fully extended. So when it goes through the suspension travel, basically at the sag point, it will actually be tighter. But as it goes more into the suspension travel, it will actually shrink. The axle, the chain length will actually shrink a little bit. The axle to the bottom bracket length will shrink, so it will actually give me more slack on the chain. So I think that's good. Now I adjust my derailleur. Anyways, I'm done with that. No more messing with that. I need to go for a ride before it gets too dark.